Hello, my name is Phillip Wale. I'm the Chief Executive of WHI Ireland, and I'm happy to present the interim results for the 6 months ending September 2022. Here is our usual disclaimer, which I'd ask each of you to read carefully. So to look at the financial highlights, which we believe are relatively resilient performance considering a very challenging market environment. We saw group revenue of 14.3 million for the period versus 17 million for the same period last year. That's produced an underlying loss of 0.4 million versus a profit of 0.3 million for the first half of 2021. Group assets under management are maintained at 2.1 billion versus 2.4 billion for the same period. So this has created a basic loss per share of 0.59 pence versus an earnings per share number of 0.55 for the same period last year. This leaves us with cash of £6.3 million versus 8.4 million for the first half of 2021, and our cash balance at the time of recording this video is at 6.8 million in December 2022. All in all, it's pleasing to report that we're close to break even on what has been the most testing of market conditions. Now I'd like to look at each division within the group, starting with wealth management, where we've continued to focus on efficiency and growth. So during this period, we've seen revenues of 7.3 million, close to the 7.8 million we saw for the period last year. That gives us discretionary managed assets of 1.0 billion versus 1.2 billion for the first half of 2021, and a total of assets under management within our wealth management division of 1.4 billion versus 1.6 billion for the first half of 2021. Fee income represents an increased proportion of our overall wealth management income at 91% versus 86% for the first half of 2021. We've continued to focus on efficiency and growth, and that's reflected in what we've seen in good investment performance, enhancing our client proposition, and an increase in our financial planning income. We've continued to streamline the business in our 4 core offices. We've also continued to improve the quality of the business, including increasing the proportion of discretionary managed assets and the proportion of fee income, as I mentioned earlier. Moving on to the capital markets division, where we continue to win new clients despite very challenging market conditions. Revenue has been severely impacted across the industry by a record fall in the number of AIM fundraisings and IPOs. Despite this, we produced a revenue of 7.0 million versus 9.2 for the same period last year. During this period, we've maintained our position as a leading AIM advisor and have increased the number of corporate clients to 92 versus 86 in the same period last year. That includes 13 new clients that have been won during the period. Funds raised in the period have dropped dramatically across the market for all participants, and we've raised £37 million for our clients during this period versus 193 in the period last year. We have, however, completed a number of equity transactions for our clients, a total of 19 versus 20 for the first 6 months of 2021. Finally, our ultra-high net worth and family office division have grown their assets under management to 0.3 billion versus 0.2 billion for the first half of 2021. So let's finally take a look at current trading and the outlook going forward. There is no doubt that the challenging market environment continues. However, we feel with a further tight control of costs, we can restrict our full year results to a small loss. Cash balances remain at 6.8 million, as I mentioned earlier, and we continue to progress development opportunities and recruitment across both divisions within the group. In conclusion, with the continued focus on operational efficiencies and the further development of our new and existing offerings, I believe we are well placed to take advantage of a market recovery. I look forward to talking to you again in summer 2023 to report our full year earnings to the end of March 2023.